Okay, so before y'all get started into this particular video, I just wanted to point out that I know when people first found out about carbonation, when he first came out, when he was still melanation and all that crap, a lot of people believed in his movement because it made sense, right? A black person going to the tropics, which we're really not from the tropics, but that's neither here or there. Just trying to start their own community, this, that, and the third, whatever. Okay, cool. I mean, it started off quotation innocent, right? Even though I know that it was never innocent because he clearly made a video before going to the tropics on how to start a cult, just like you're about to listen to. I couldn't find the video, but there's a video out there of Nature Boy describing how he's going to start a cult. Anyway, so this is just to point out that they all start off innocently, right? They all have these followers that believe in them, right? Because everything they're saying makes sense and makes them feel good. But then the more people that pay them attention, that gives them money, that just completely gives up control to them, they take that as a power trip. So what was once probably innocent has now turned sinister. There's a lot of very good videos. I wouldn't say good videos. There's a lot of videos out there talking about Hamza in such a great light, that he is an awesome individual, an awesome teacher, this, that, and the third, just like people said about Nature Boy. But this is just the beginning. If you study cults like I do, you know they all start off innocently with quotation good intentions, right? But then something switches, something happens. They go down this dark alley and they live there. They're no longer in the light. And they start doing questionable things, especially when they know they have so much control and influence over a vast amount of people. It just makes sense. So even though there's a lot of videos out there talking about Hamza in a good light, give it a couple of years and let's see what happens to these teenage kids. Just like we saw what happened to these black women and men. It all starts off as a mission, as self-improvement, self-awareness, enlightenment, growth, prosperity. But then it turns into something completely different. And that's exactly what we're witnessing. So check this out. Who is Hamza Ahmed? Hamza is a YouTuber that was born in 1997 in the UK, who makes content based on self-help, productivity, fitness, and relationships. He actually has over 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, and he has a cult following consisting of mostly teenagers. Hamza sells mentorship and coaching programs. His credentials. On his website, there's no mention of his educational background, where or what he studied at university. It's believed he studied psychology, unknown whether he graduated or not. Either way, his credentials are missing, and his site is just filler content of storytelling with the whole before and now narrative. But that doesn't mean he can't be self-taught on stuff and know stuff, right? Sure, but you're going on a whim to trust some guy in his mid-20s without any scientific background. He isn't some meditation guru or relationship expert. Sure, he has an above-average physique, but that doesn't make him a fitness expert or a nutrition expert either. Great football players don't always make great managers. Don't get me wrong, they of course can, but But the point is, being a great player has no effect on being a great manager. As for his credibility with attracting women, he claims to have hooked up with a lot of girls from clubs, bars, and pubs. While that is definitely plausible, especially considering the locations, still the only actual evidence we have of him attracting women is 2 ex-girlfriends. Now, I know it's not easy to show evidence of hookups, but he could at least show the many Tinder matches blurred out that he claims to have get regularly. Oh, I don't need to prove that to you. Sure, but this is to do with your credibility and the stuff that you claim. This is Hamza.
Created a cult. This is my plan with full honesty. Watch this video in order every single second of the video if you want to be part of my cult. Don't flick around or skip through the video because you won't understand what I'm saying. This one video I want you to watch every single second if you want to be a cult member. Now what you can do is change the setting to watch it at 1.5 times speed just to go quicker. We're going to do something different. I'm going to bring you onto my computer screen. So Sam, can we get a nice editing effect, transition effect? So there's a couple of stages that we're going to go through, and we're going to start with just stage 1. I'm copying Alex Becker, by the way. This is how I got his idea. So stage 0 we're going to start with, and you've already passed this one, but this stage is the pre-self-improvement / my Hamza stage. So this is like when you were unaware of me / or you were unaware of self-improvement, but obviously you've already went past this stage, so good man, good on you. Now stage 1, you may be here. So stage 1 is the self-improvement struggle. SIS, the self-improvement struggle. This is that main rut of depression, of doing all the bad habits. This is one of the worst places to be in life, because at this point you know about self-improvement. You've been binge watching maybe my content, Andrew Kirby's and Better Ideas and Matt Diavella and all the YouTubers, and so you know exactly what you're missing out on. You just can't seem to grasp it. So I was in this stage about a year ago when I was smoking weed every single day. I was jacking off like 6 times a day on 4chan. I was binge eating every single day. My mental health was fucked up. I was spending all day, every day on the computer just watching YouTube videos. And I think you're probably going to be able to relate to me. Either you've experienced this before or you've already went out of this stage, which is fantastic, so we can move on. Stage 2 is where it starts to work. You know, you struggled at first, you were unable to get just about into it for whatever reason. At this stage, in stage 2, you've changed a few things and it actually starts to work. You see very, very small progress. At this stage, most people's mindset is the biggest problem, and they won't admit or feel or know that they are actually consistent, usually because of the ego. And so, you know, they're watching my videos, they're watching everyone's videos, and we're all saying on YouTube, like, yeah, we meditate every single day. And so in stage 2, after you've just been through stage 1, the self-improvement struggle, the depression period, let's say you start meditating. You want to meditate every day, obviously, but let's say you start meditating and you only get about 3 days a week. At this point, it's your mindset that's the biggest problem, because with 3 days a week, you think you're a bit of a failure. So this is the stage where you're going through those up and downs, that roller coaster of existence video that I made. This is that stage. And so you're making progress. And we know for a fact, if you just stay with it, with a good mindset, you will get to the next stages. But many guys, because of those big downs, might actually quit from here. So if this sounds realistic to your situation, you're feeling like you might be in stage 2, you've been seeing a bit of progress, but it's nowhere near the level that you want, and you do feel these up and down days, this is probably the current stage that you are. And I'll even draw like the roller coaster. That's what it feels like at this stage. We're getting through these quite quickly because I don't want to waste your time.
I joined a cult. Yeah, that's right. So I joined a cult, specifically Hamza, the YouTuber's cult, and I can say that I'm so incredibly proud that I did. Why, you might ask? Because I got into self-improvement. While a lot of these spurgs come home and they watch porn, they play video games, or just eat junk food and generally have no direction in life, you have the members of Hamza's cult, people who want to be like Adonis, who go home and want to meditate, they want to journal or gratitude journal, they have big goals and ambitions for themselves. They go out running, they lift weights, they have passions and projects that they really want to pursue, that they're passionate about. Now, I just want to say that I'm far from perfect, like completely. Here is my NHS anxiety and depression score, as well as my true happiness score from the course of the science of well-being. Now, as you can see, my overall happiness score is definitely nowhere near where I want it to be. However, I'd say since joining the cult, I have increased my happiness tenfold, as well as just been so much more consistent in my habits and my goals, and finding that I'm actually progressing in areas of life. Instead of gaining skills just on video games, I'm now actually gaining skills in real life. Now, in terms of progress on Hamza's cult kind of scale thing, if we'll go for, he's got stage 2, which is the start of self-improvement, when you're starting to find yourself actually building up these habits. And then you've got stage 3, which is flow, where you're actually starting to see progress in your habits. Now, I'd probably say that I'm between stage 2 and stage 3. And then you've also got stage 4, which is self-actualization, and stage 5, which is recruitment. Now, like I say, I am far from where I want to be. There's so much more that I want to achieve, so much more that I want to do before, you know, actually being satisfied with where I am in life. However, the reason that I'm so proud to have joined Hamza's cult is because instead of being here on the stepping stone of these stages, I'm now about maybe here, even though I've got all the way up here to go. I'm, you know, getting there. I feel like I actually have a direction in my life right now. I don't feel completely directionless. I feel as though I actually have a path. So I just want to say, you should join Hamza's cult too. It is something that you want to do. So do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it.
Don't join it. If you're in it, leave. Why? Because I want you to start your own cult. Why do you want to be a disciple of Hamza? Is Hamza your God? Why do you want to be a disciple of Hamza? Hamza could have helped you. He could have helped you so much. He could have changed your whole life. But why does he have to be your leader? Why can't you be your own leader? Why do you need to be Hamza's little bitch? Start your own cult, bro. I'm not telling you, oh, you should hate on Hamza. We all love Hamza. Self-improvement, he's renovated, revolutionized self-improvement. He's made it so accessible to all these people who are so far in. the instant gratification, the whole Jeffrey lifestyle. But if you've reached a level of success in your self-improvement journey, you don't need to be in Hamza's cult. You can start your own. 'Cause I guarantee you, there's going to be so many people who don't really relate to Hamza, but they relate to you. So some people could argue saying, oh, I can have my own cult while being in Hamza's cult. I could be like a little subsection. And here's why I disagree with it. It's going to instill, if that's even a word, it's gonna force you to think that you're always inferior to Hamza, that you need Hamza to be alive for you to prosper. But that's simply not the case. Get rid of the middleman. Why do you need Hamza there? For example, with the red pill. If you've been on the red pill, you sort of reach a point where you feel confident enough, which you don't need to keep watching all these red pill YouTubers. You don't need to keep reading on it on the Reddit and all that stuff. You've reached a level of, I can't even, there's a specific word, but I can't tell you right now. But, oh yeah, you've become self-sufficient on self-improvement. Same way you become self-sufficient on red pill. Same way you become self-sufficient in your workouts. You don't need to watch any educational videos about the gym, how muscle building works, because you become self-sufficient. Red pill, you've become self-sufficient. You know what you like, you know what you dislike. You don't need any more. You understand. The same with self-improvement. You don't always need to watch Hamza. And that is dangerous. If you always watch Hamza, you're just going to be in his shadow. You're not going to be able to surpass him. And the goal isn't to be alongside Hamza. The goal is to beat Hamza. Hamza is part of the competition. Don't get it twisted. Hamza is part of the competition. He might be helping you, but you're still gonna have to defeat him. Like, think of it. He's like the final boss. Sure, he's like the whole teacher. It's like Sifu. If you've seen that game, yeah. I'm not a gamer, but I just know of the game. But like just the traditional, like, oh, the student beats the master. That's gonna be us. Don't join Hamza's cult. Make your own once you're self-sufficient on self-improvement, to the point you don't need Hamza. Cut out the middleman. Why do you need Hamza? Hamza's not your god. That's all I have to say. Thank you guys. Remember, we were meant to be better. Start your cult now.
The males in the Hamza cult. Now let's get into it. I want y'all to look at this photo right here. Look at the quote, because I know a lot of guys make this mistake. If you are not a high value, high quality male, don't be complaining and don't be saying I want a high value woman. Of course you want to have a high value woman in your life, but I know a lot of people that I be seeing on these group chats, these Hamza cult group chats on the comment section, their priorities are not in check. They keep complaining about, oh, women are hoes. I want a female do this for me, a female do that for me. You have to understand you're chasing the wrong things. As this quote said, if you are not high quality, if your hygiene is not good, if you still watch the hub, if you still fapping every day, if you're doing this, if you're doing that, your priority shouldn't be on a female. Your priority should be on you, improving yourself. Like, let me use me for an example. Right now, would I say I'm deserving of a high quality female? I mean, I look good and I got a big chopper on me, no homo, but I don't think so. I'm not at the point where I want to be yet. You know what I'm saying? Physically, I'm not really the best I could be right now. Financially, I'm not the best I could be right now, etc., etc. You have to ask yourself and put yourself in a woman's position, in a woman's shoes. If a woman's looking at you, if you're on the outside looking at yourself, would you penetrate yourself? Would you say, oh, I want that, man? You have to be honest with yourself. You have to be honest with ourselves as men, you feel me? You can't just be saying, oh, nah, man, you females should love me. No. You have to be honest with ourselves. Is your hygiene good? Some of y'all be focusing on females and saying, oh, females are hoes, females are this, females are that, females don't like me. Do you still fat? Are you still in the hood? Are you struggling to go 9 days on no fat? These are things you have to be real with yourself. Don't be worrying about a female. Don't be worrying about all of these other things if you can't even go 7 hours without fapping. Don't be worrying about a female, etc., etc., if you can't even see your own ding-a-ling because your belly too big. You understand what I'm trying to say? I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but we have to have tough love and we have to be real of ourselves. I saw this quote that one of my homies, my female friend sent me. Well, not sent, I saw in the story and was like, yeah, we need to make a video on this. For real, for real. You know what I'm saying? Because some guys out here just be tripping. You be saying that these females be entitled, I deserve the best. Some males be entitled too. Like, you haven't really done anything yet. You haven't really achieved what you want to achieve. You're not in the position you want to be. If I was to ask some of these guys, are you in the position you want to be? They're going to say no. If you was to ask me, am I in the position that I want to be? I'm going to tell you no. I'm getting there, I'm striving there, but I'm not there right now. Until I get to that position, my priorities are not on females. That should be your mindset too. I'm trying to get to a certain point. I'm trying to be physically a certain way. I'm trying to have this YouTube channel popping. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be a successful boxer, etc., etc. I got many plans. But until then, my focus is not on females. A lot of y'all be getting distracted. You're focusing on the females. Oh, what do females like? Females don't like this. Females like me from sure. Get black pill. You have to focus on you. You have to be real with yourself. You have to make sure your habits are good. You have to make sure you love yourself. You have to make sure you can take care of yourself. If you are still big and puffy, you got a big belly, you can't go 7 days without fapping. You're struggling to motherfucking talk to people. You have social anxiety. You're nervous around females. You shouldn't be focusing on females. You should focus on getting yourself together first. Become high quality so you can attract high quality. Stop chasing certain females in the nightclub who will serve you no purpose. If you really want a high quality female, the males watching, you have to become high quality first. I know we be saying females be entitled, but some of us males be entitled too. We say, why can't I have this? You have to work for it, man. You have to work for it. You have to put in the work. You have to become better each day. I'm not saying just become better each day for a female, although it's biologically, naturally, well, we do that anyway. What I'm saying is, focus on yourself to become a better version of yourself so you can look in the mirror and say, if I was gay, I would hit that.
With Botoxed videos and perfectly manicured characters, I think Hamza is appealing to a lot of people because he's so vulnerable and tries to be authentic, which just appeals to so many people and helps them feel like this is somewhere they can go and be understood. And by being more vulnerable with people, it makes them trust him more. Honestly, for me, I'm still a little skeptical about him, but I can't discredit all the help that he's giving young men and guiding them to live better lives. My only hope is that young men don't start to go too harsh on themselves and think, if I'm not like this, then I am shit. And I don't think that's going to be a healthy place to bring up young men either. I think there needs to be a bigger discussion about your own version of success might not be Adonis. Your own version of success might be whatever. But as long as you're happy in that success, then forgo what others think about it. I don't know. That's just my thoughts. Whether or not I think he's a scam, I don't think so. But crazier things have happened, and I think it's very interesting to keep on watching what he's doing. I think he is doing a good thing at the moment, and I'm interested to see his journey.
Thanks for watching, guys.
How cults operate now. Historically, the leaders of cults and cult-like groups built their bases in small chunks. Their reach was limited. A guru could speak to only so many people at once. They started with retreats and seminars, or clandestine meetings out of the public eye. Often, as a guru grew more extreme in behavior and belief, they also grew more secretive. Not anymore. What I'm learning is just how completely indoctrinated people can get from just watching YouTube and being on their computer at home, said Stephen Hassan, a former member of the Unification Church, better known as the Moonies, who became a leading expert on cults and mind control. They don't need to go to isolated locations and have a lot of the stuff that I experienced when I was in a cult 40 years ago. Social media is almost perfectly designed for an aspiring guru. Anybody can start teaching from their own bedroom for free on platforms hesitant to censor even their wildest claims. Facebook and Twitter will constantly update followers with their newest revelations. YouTube's algorithm will nudge first-time viewers towards similar content.